What's up guys, welcome back to another video. In this one, as you can tell by the title, I'm going to be ranking the top 10 left wings in the NHL right now. So at number 10 we have a late bloomer, but he's emerging as one of the elite scorers in the NHL. He's a proven playoff performer, as we've seen him help his team to the Eastern Conference Final this past season, and that is none other than Mike Hoffman. He's got a wicked shot, one of the up-and-coming talents in Ottawa, along with Mark Stone, of course. Helped Ottawa to deep playoff runs this year, and I can see them going back next year maybe as well. With the leadership of Carlson, they got the back end. Yeah, Hoffman has been a great contributor to Ottawa's recent success, and he's only getting better. So that's why I have him at number 10. Number 9 is a player that I just feel bad for. He's been on back-to-back terrible teams in the NHL. First on Edmonton, was drafted first overall by them, and now he's on New Jersey, and that is Taylor Hall. He was probably really excited when Edmonton drafted McDavid first overall, and then he consequently got traded to New Jersey for Adam Martian, in which everyone thought that New Jersey had won that trade. Well, I mean, Edmonton's laughing now because they made it to the second round of the playoffs, and New Jersey, they did get the first overall pick, so Nico Hischier should help their team avoid being at the bottom. But I mean, Taylor Hall's really got nobody there on New Jersey to help him. But I mean, he's going to lead the team in scoring for a while. So I mean, he's not a bad player, just played by bad teams. So number 9, I think, is fair. Number 8 might be the most controversial pick I have on this list. Now, he's an older player, the oldest on this list, and he's currently stuck in the ugly state of affairs that are happening in Detroit. So of course I'm talking about their captain, Henrik Zetterberg. The Super Swede, he's been their captain for a while since Nick Lidstrom left. He's led them to significant playoff success over the past, decade or so, or he was part of that huge run. It's ended now, but I mean, he's still a top-tier player, and Detroit's not a good team, so he doesn't get as many points as he should, but he still racks them up, and that is impressive. He's still got a ton of skill, even though he's on the decline in his career, and you should still expect to see him at the top of the team scoring list, and maybe in the leagues this year with Detroit. We have another Super Swede, Phillip Forsberg. So we're going back to back here in Sweden, but this guy's on the up and up, whereas Zetterberg is on his way down. Forsberg's going to absolutely tear it up in Nashville. He's already helped them reach a Stanley Cup final last year. He's got one of the best and most deceptive wrist shots in the game, and he's a nightmare to watch. As a Hawks fan in the Central Division, I mean, whenever he gets a chance in the offensive zone, you've got to be nervous because you think he's going to pot it more often than not. Him and the Preds are set up for significant success in the future, especially with the emergence of Victor Arvidsson on that first line. Once Ryan Johansson heals from his injuries, they're going to be one of the top lines in the NHL coming into next season. Now, deep down at number 6, I wanted to put him lower than I have him, but I mean, there's just some things you can't deny, and his numbers are one of them. Pacioretty's undeniably one of the best scorers in the league. He scored at least 30 goals in each of his past 4 seasons, and I see him a lot because my dad's a Habs fan. Now, he has a much stronger opinion of Pacioretty than I do. I think Pacioretty's okay, he's tolerable. He's a liability on defense though, and there's just something about him that lacks heart that, you know, you wouldn't expect to see in a captain. And if I were a Habs fan, that would frustrate me personally, and I might want to see somebody with more leadership, more heart, more character take on the captaincy role and let Pacioretty just do his thing and score goals. But nonetheless, Pacioretty's numbers don't lie. Although his game's not fully well-rounded, he's good enough offensively to put him in the top 6. Before we get to the top 5, I'm going to talk about one of the honorable mentions. Nikolai Ehlers is one of the top emerging talents in the National Hockey League. Last year was a huge boost for him. He was tied for 3rd on the Jets in points. Obviously on that team, he's competing with other talents, Mark Scheifele, who's another great up-and-coming center, and Patrick Laine, of course. So while he's got the help of that offensive core around him, he himself stands out, and you can tell when you watch him. He's one of the best up-and-coming skill players in the league, so you guys better mark my words, you better keep an eye on this Great Dane. Number 5 is one of the most exciting players to watch right now, and he's living proof that size doesn't mean a thing in the NHL. Of course, we're talking about Johnny Hockey. Johnny's been one of the big reasons why Calgary has been able to make the playoffs in these past few seasons. And although they haven't made it that far, he's still killing it with Sean Monahan on that top line, and he's going to do great things for Calgary in the years to come. He's one of the most skilled players, one of the best hands, one of the most creative guys in the league. I'd put him in hands-wise, it'd probably be like right up there with Patty Kane. So, I mean, sick player. That's why he makes the top 5. Now we're getting into contentious territory here. There wasn't too much separating 3 and 4 and then 1 and 2. So, I mean, this is where things get a little iffy and subjective, and, you know, again, these are all opinions in the end. So number 4, I actually put Brad Martian. Now, he's 4 in my list of top 10 left wingers. NHL Network actually, I think, had him 3rd among all wingers, both right and left. So, I mean, I think they put more weight on recent performance, and there's no denying Brad Marchand's only been increasing his production, and last year was just incredible. But in my opinion, it might be an anomalous year. I mean, Boston doesn't really have that good offense, and I don't see continuing going forward. I know he got a lot of power play points, so if his time on the power play drops off, I feel like his points will also. He's not everyone's favorite player, but you guys can't deny his numbers. They look really good, and Brad Marchand, if he keeps up even close to his production, he's established himself as one of the top wingers in the NHL. Before we reveal the top 3, I'm going to talk about another one of the honorable mentions here. This guy is part of a very promising core down in Carolina. He was drafted way back, and he had an amazing rookie season, but after that his production slowly dropped off. You know him as Jeff Skinner. He's clearly been struggling a little bit with, you know, the team in general, how they haven't been doing very well, but now that they've got an semi-established D-core with Falk, Hanifin, and Slavin, and then they've got this up-and-coming forward core with Teravainen and Aho, the 2 Finns, some other guys as well, just bringing their offense to the next level where they need to be to compete for the playoffs. Jeff Skinner's going to impact that team so much, and I mean, I guarantee he's probably going to get at least another 30 goals this coming season. Now here's where things get interesting. Number 3, I've got Artemi Panarin. Now, I mean, it hurts to talk about him a little bit as a Hawks fan, having to give up him straight up for Brandon Saad, who's, let's not sugarcoat it, he's not as skillful as Artemi Panarin. All right? He'll still do well, but Panarin is such an amazing talent, and I had the pleasure of watching him all year long. And I know he had Kane on his line, setting him up all day, and him doing the same for Kane. But I mean, I think he's got enough skill on his own to tear it up with Columbus now. And you better watch that Columbus power play the next season with Werenski and Panarin. They're going to absolutely light it up. NASHER, you're a lucky man that you got Panarin, because he's going to do great things for Columbus. Top 2 players are in their prime. There's no denying this. And number 2 is the best pure goal scorer in the National Hockey League. One of the best pure goal scorers ever. Of course you guys know I'm talking about. You know him as the Great 8, Alexander Ovechkin. Now there definitely are some critiques to his game, especially on the defensive end. People say he's one-dimensional, and I mean, I really wouldn't have him any other way. I love seeing this guy score, and he can score from virtually anywhere in the offensive zone. Of course, Ovi's benefited from that dynamic duo with Backstrom, and having one of the best playmakers in the game setting you up all day on even strength and power play is going to boost your point production. But that doesn't take away from the fact that Ovi can take over a game at any time and win it if he wants to. So although he's probably on his decline, and Washington might even look to trade him to just help him win a cup, the poor guy, he's still one of the top talents in the league on the wing, on the power play, with the puck on his stick. You can't deny Ovi second spot on this list. Before we get to number 1, I'm going to tease you guys once more with our last honorable mention. He is a French-Canadian player on the up-and-coming Florida Panthers. This one might surprise you guys. I mean, it's an honorable mention, so he's not even on the list, but his point-per-game production lately has been crazy, and it's so terrible that he's had so many injuries, but Jonathan Huberdeau is one to watch in the upcoming season. As long as he can stay healthy, him and Barkov and Trocheck are going to do amazing things in Florida. I mean, you guys have seen in my Sims in All Trades Accepted, Florida Panthers have won the cup like twice out of 4 times that I've done the simulation. So, I mean, something's going right in there, at least the way their team's built. And Huberdeau is definitely one of the up-and-coming left wingers in the league right now. I've been trying to think of a creative way to reveal number 1, but I've actually already done it. And, I mean, by process of elimination, you guys can probably tell who I'm going to put up there, or you just look over my head. And there he is. He's been there all video. Number 1 is Jamie Benn. He's one of my favorite players. That's why I've got his jersey. I've also got a player tee. Maybe probably should have been wearing it, but anyways. He is the complete package. He's so dominant, and I think he's better than Seguin, to be honest. He's just so good. A two-way player, a power forward. He can hit, he can fight, and he can score like nobody's business. That Dallas offense is absolutely terrifying. If it goes Radulov, Seguin, and Ben, watch out, Central Division. I mean, you won't be able to outscore these guys. I don't care how bad their defense is. You won't be able to touch these guys on the score sheet. Alright guys, that about wraps up my list of the top 10 best left wings right now. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Drop a like on the video if you did. If you disagree, take your finger off the dislike button. Just leave your top 10 in the comments below and we'll have a little banter back and forth. A civilized conversation. Don't forget to subscribe because I'm coming out with a few more lists, right wingers, defensemen, and goalies at least. Leave any other ideas of any other lists that you want me to do. Give me my opinions on. And until next one, I'll see you guys then.